Is one of the greatest bands of all time ever said, "Oh my God, we're back again." Welcome to another episode of Capes and Commentaries, the podcast where we relive some of our favorite cartoons, some of our favorite episodes. Well, mostly Tyler's. I have to re-watch and relive it kind of vicariously through him a little bit. But we do that. We discuss some of movie news, which we'll get to here in a bit. And anything else that pops into mind. I'm Nathan Kennedy, and I'm here. I don't have anything smart-ass really to say this week. I'm here with Tank Top's Tyler Baker. We just sat here and chatted for about a good half hour before we started this thing. How's it going?
I'm doing good. Just kind of getting caught up on some of the stuff that's kind of happened over the week, like discussing John Wick 3 is coming out, Turtles versus Batman, a new Batman. So just kind of talking between the two of us, what our thoughts on that. So, but I guess Capes and Commentaries again give a commentary on supposedly this new Batman that's essentially being pushed, but it's not official. But
yeah, it's not official. It's not completely confirmed, but it's down to Robert Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult, who is currently
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah. What, Beast in the First Class movie?
I love him as Beast, but I do not see him at all as Batman.
I think most people don't see...
He has too much of a boyish face, though. And I don't see Robert Pattinson as Batman either. Arnie Hammer's the guy that should have cast to play Batman. He's got a much more mature-looking, face for the cowl, and he's got a deeper voice. These guys are just,
It makes sense. I understand people's... But we've gone through this so many times. You had Keaton, you had Ledger. To me, I'm at a point in my life now where there's no point really in being mad at it. Like, if it's going to suck, then it's going to suck. But it could turn out to be great.
Well, I mean, I had no problem with Ledger being cast. It was like they released the worst possible image. It was a close-up of just his face without the hair.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell is this? And then when they show you the full image, okay, well, that looks better. Well, don't do that. Don't release something that's just going to cause a lot of negative backlash. If you're going to show it. Don't spoil anything, of course, but yeah. But I mean, when I saw it, I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I got a few messages that were just like, "Oh my God, can you believe they're doing this?" My Nolan Batman movies. And I was just like, well, let's look at it from this point of view. Can it really be any worse than Batman v Superman and Justice League and Batman and Robin at this point? I honestly don't think so. And Matt Reeves, I trust him completely because he's churned out some fantastic films. Those that Planet of the Apes trilogy, that he was a part of, those were fantastic. I was a little let down by the third film, but
I never did see the third one.
It's to me, it's not as good as the other two.
But my brother said it was kind of depressing almost.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it's definitely a downer, but I trust it. I trust the process, and with those two guys being left, it kind of makes me wonder. And any of you that listen to this that are friends with me on Facebook probably saw, like, this would be the perfect time to let's just do Batman Beyond, bring Keaton back as Bruce Wayne, and have one of these two guys play Terry McGinnis.
A lot of other people were saying the same thing in various like Batman Facebook pages I follow as well. Like, people were just kind of posting out of the same thing you did.
It makes the most sense. It's new in regards to like the cinematic aspect of it. It's new. It's a different direction. You kind of subvert that whole thing of like, well, Robert Pattinson is not Bruce Wayne. It's like, all right, well, yeah, he's not. He's Terry McGinnis. So to me, that would be the best possible way.
I could buy him more as Terry McGinnis than I could as a young Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, that's.
It's coming from someone who hates this piece of shit Twilight films too.
And
scrapping that aside, like, it's not his fault.
Exactly. Like, he was just getting a paycheck. He took that and ran with it. Now he's rich, so I guess it paid off for him.
Play some pussy vampire who glitters in the sunlight for millions and millions of dollars.
I think we all would, and I hate that that's going to be most of the focus, because he has done films obviously after that have gotten some a little bit of praise of being like, hey, yeah, his performance is actually pretty good, and he's been cast in the new Christopher Nolan film, so obviously someone seeing something in what he has to offer. So,
I look at it this way then. Obviously, I mean, the actors, they hear about the negative feedback and stuff, and they tell the press, oh, I don't pay attention to stuff. The hell you don't. We all know all celebrities, athletes, movie stars, musicians, they all hear it. It's best in their public interest to not respond to it. But it would work in his favor, much like with Keaton. People don't think this is going to, they think you're going to be like a pussy ass Batman, overly sensitive and all this shit. It should make him hungry to prove, okay, I'm going to shed that teeny bot image that I'm typecast with, not permanently, but
right.
In the fans of comic book fans and Batman fans, yeah. So, and I would think that if Matt Reeves does cast him and Warner Bros. Goes with that, they better be prepared for a lot of backlash for that. So they better be really pushing hard to make sure that this is an '89 Batman film where it's one of those big summer movies you can't wait to it's not something that's quickly comes and goes like all these other superhero films. It's gone now. Where there's some hype for it. Something big. I don't know. I just kind of feel like hell, even Endgame. I just kind of feels like it was such a.
Well, to you it was. To everyone else, this is the end.
Is it going to capture the summer though? Like it's that kind of mood? Yeah. Aside from all the crying of all this.
Well, you know what? I think part of the whole thing of capturing the summer is you need to release your movie in June or July. To me, like May or April is not summer at all. So, to me, summer to me is always June, July, August.
Yeah, me too.
Put your movie out there. Speaking of Batman, you and I are planning on checking out Batman versus Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, we decided we're going to get the digital copies, and if it's worth a damn, then we'll buy the hard copy. But we both are very curious about seeing how this crossover, because man, I have not liked anything DC animated has done, and I still haven't seen the Adam West ones yet, which I still need to check those out. But everything they've put out, I have not liked. It's been years since I liked. Public Enemies was okay, and Apocalypse was pretty good. But after that, I was like, God, man, I don't like anything they're doing.
And they're doing Hush as well.
Hush, and I watched the trailer for that, and like, the voices in that suck balls too. It's just very lazy voice acting. I know it's not the whole thing, but
I think we've been kind of spoiled by Kevin Conroy all these years. Like it feels like anytime anyone else does it, you're just like, it's either okay or it's just really not good at all.
Well, not just with Kevin Conroy, but we're gonna have the entire roster, showing up in Hush. And I like when I heard Poison Ivy's voice, like, God, she just sounds like some generic woman talking. It doesn't sound like, oh God, the voice actress plays from the animated series. Ah, damn it! But yes, I'm sure someone like can't wait to correct me. Don't bother; it'll come to me once we're done. So don't send me something through Facebook. Here's who it is. Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
But anyway, like her voice acting is Pamela Isley. Like that's Poison Ivy. Like this. A seductive interpretation of the character, and it just sounded so lazy. And it looks good, like style wise, but I'm not holding my breath. It'll probably suck, and they'll change it. Of course, I felt a bit lackluster when Hush was finally completed. I was so looking forward to that way before it even came out. Bought every issue. I could not wait.
I remember that.
Yeah,
dude, I remember that because I was right there with you. I bought those huge ass posters.
Yeah.
I was buying the figures back when we could still go to like a software or like a GameStop software, etc. Get the figures. Which GameStop's kind of coming around to that. They're starting to. I feel like more of these brick and mortar stores are starting to embrace the adult collector, especially since Toys R Us has gone away. But yeah, I remember when we were hunting for those.
Yeah, that was a fun time because I mean that's, I just it was a lot of hype around that, but it just I remember like Wizard would overhype it something where you feel like there's nothing to hype here, like we already know that, and I felt it to be kind of lackluster with the character Hush. I like knowing the Riddler was the mastermind of the whole thing because I love the Riddler so much, but I just felt like the character of Hush was, not as epic. Like when they twisted, I thought it was Harvey Dent. I'm like, ooh, all right, I'll buy that. And then it's not Harvey Dent; it's Thomas Elliott. Like,
Yeah.
But
And that's kind of what I want and hope for with this new Batman, or why I kind of want them to go in the direction of Batman Beyond. Because if we're just going back to here's Batman and here's Joker, I'm like, we're played out with that. Do something different, please.
yeah.
Like, I don't want to see that anymore. I've already seen it
Batman
enough.
Beyond gives us the opportunity to give like new villains that have no preconceived notion of what you're expecting other than what you saw in the cartoon.
Yes. And I would say work in some of those stories kind of in there with like Mr. Freeze and stuff. Like, find interesting ways to bring old characters into the fold, but also like introduce new people. Just do something different. Take a chance. Do Batman Beyond. It would be perfect. Now's the time to do it. Keaton is like the right age for it.
Hell, I think he'd do it in a heartbeat, permitting that they taking it seriously and treat it with dignity. Like
And you could probably honestly make callbacks, because if you bring Keaton back, you can work it in with like the Tim Burton universe that was crafted in the first film and Returns, and make callbacks to that too. Like, you have something
that draws in people of our age and older who love the Keaton films, and you don't have to do direct flashbacks, but having Keaton there and acknowledging those events of what he dealt with as Batman, like. And having Derek Powers become Blight, God, that'd be that. I mean, there's a lot, and seeing Keaton in the Batman Beyond suit, like that's something we getting to see, or getting to see Keaton in the bat suit again, and but he's wearing the one we're more used to, but then decides to call it quits and never got around to using this more up to date bat suit, and that way that comes out completely new to Terry.
Yeah. It's there. It's perfect. The timing would be perfect because nostalgia is still a huge. Obviously, I mean, look what we're doing now. Do it, Warner Brothers.
Hell, with all this Batman talk, we probably should have just done a Batman commentary.
If we talked about it with Batman Turtles, maybe expect us to do a review episode on that next week. If not that, then G.I. Joe the movie. We'll flip a coin.
Yeah, Harvey Dent style.
Yeah,
but we are doing ThunderCats here. We are back to do ThunderCats. Another. This one's in every sense of the word personal favorite of mine, because I grew up on this one particular episode quite often. The Thunder Cutter, which was Hachiman's first appearance. And it was attached to the VHS of the Ghost Warrior, which was Grun the Destroyer's first appearance. And as a kid, those two episodes seemed to be very lengthy, long episodes, especially this one, because so much stuff happens in it in such a short amount of time. But it's a memorable episode. I had Axel do a drawing as like a fun throwback to that episode. It's just got a lot of great stuff in it, and seeing two honorable swordsmen go at it and become allies. Did you watch this beforehand, Nathan?
Yes, okay. I did. I actually watched it last week when we were originally gonna do this, but then I had to work last Saturday, and I woke up and I was like, I just want to lay here until I have to get up and go. So apologies that we didn't bring this to you sooner. But yes, I watched it last week.
Well, going into it, what's your thoughts on this?
I always think that it's cool anytime you can mix in different elements of things. Like, I like how most of these shows back in the day pulled from other stuff, like pulling from Westerns and like samurai films, and having those elements, like you just said, of, well, once we get into it, let's just, let's go ahead and jump into it. And then I can kind of like give my thoughts as the episode's going on. No link down below to check out the show, so you guys pop in your DVD, purchase on iTunes, Amazon, try your luck on Dailymotion, see how that goes. Give us a countdown, Tyler. Let's get it going.
3, 2, 1, action.
Man, I know that the way that things are and how accessible everything is, that like Saturday morning cartoons, I don't think could flourish like they did 30 years ago. But man, I am really glad that we got to experience that as kids.
Yeah,
To just have that long block of just animated goodness, and
even during the school week when a lot of this stuff came on. I mean, that's how I watched
that too. Yeah. That was kind of like the beginning of the end. Once they started doing that in syndication, then it sort of splintered everything.
I mean, because that's how I got to see any of these things aside from VHS. It was weekday mornings because that's how I'd catch Turtles, Bionic Six, Silverhawks, ThunderCats would be on like real early in the morning before like going to daycare or kindergarten, and if it wasn't VHS, that was the only. I remember catching She-Ra in the afternoons, but I don't recall ever seeing He-Man except on the USA Cartoon Express, and I'm thankful that for almost an entire decade we were treated to, and then no title card for this episode. I never understood that.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's one of and even on the VHS is like that too, from what I can recall. So I don't think it's a. I have no idea it's just kind of, I guess, like a little novelty about the episode. But kind of touching on what Nathan said earlier too about introducing like characters, or archetypes into certain stories. Like sometimes I'm kind of put off because I feel like they don't fit. And addressing this, that Mom Ra wants to bring a samurai in to defeat Lion-O, and typically, like a samurai from our world. Is it a samurai from like their universe who's on another galaxy or something? But it works. Like Hachiman's design, it looks like samurai, but it fits within the look of ThunderCats.
And also let's go ahead and get this out of the way, because I know someone would probably watch this now and just be like, oh, that seems really racist. I don't look at it as such. Like, what are you gonna do? Have him speak Japanese and have the subtitles down there? I really, in the context of a kid's cartoon, I don't think that would work so much.
No. Plus, if you think it's being racist, I think you're a pussy, because I don't. We're watching this as kids. You're not thinking, oh, it's stereotyping Asian people. Like, no. And when I watch it now, like they didn't have any Asian voice actors, and and just because they had an Asian voice actor doesn't necessarily mean he would sound Asian,
right?
So this guy is from the Far East, at least in this universe, so he needs to have a thick Asian accent. So it's no different than having
it's no different than Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck when they go over and you hear guys speaking like broken English. Like, it's just people think too much, overthink that stuff, really. Like,
or they think that they're going to become like a martyr for pointing out something. Like, dude, no one else is bothered by this, so why should I give a shit about? Oh, you don't like this? Well, if that were the case,
I like how we're sort of just watching bits of the intro right here.
But it works. It works
Yeah.
to let Hachiman know what kind of threat Mom Ra summoned.
And I like that aspect of Mom Ra is just like, he's the evil one. Now, when you were watching this as a kid, were you thinking right here, like, inevitably this is going to backfire on him? Or were you kind of like, oh, shit, like, Lion-O's really in for it now?
It's kind of, I was really intrigued by, because I knew he was a figure. So I was like, okay, so one of the action figures is in the cartoon here. And I didn't, as a kid, I was pretty certain he was a good guy. But seeing him immediately, like, portrayed as kind of the villain almost, but he's not a villain. It was like, I was just very intrigued by that.
I guess real quick too, I want to show off that I did get the snowman from Hook Mountain complete.
It looks awesome too.
Yeah, no, I really love it. Like,
I love that helmet.
Yeah, the helmet is what ties it all together to me. It's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. When he talks, I'm just like, Grandpa from Cosby Show.
I guess just because I was watching the Cosbys in the 80s too, but I never put it together for years later. So that's why I always just hear.
Well, I think it's just like when I watched the 2012 Turtles cartoon and Donatello speaks, I'm like, yeah, it's Raph.
No, it's Raph, but it's Rob does a pretty good job of making the Raph voice sound a little bit more Donnie.
Yeah.
I always like seeing these ruins outside the pyramid. It's just fun whenever they get used. Just seeing the expertise and swordsmanship of Hachiman. And he will come back and further episodes. He's in 1, 2, I think 4 episodes in season 2. But I think, because some of the characters that are in the Toyland too, like Safari Joe, Mongor, they get 1 episode.
They did that a lot with a lot of these shows, and even then they would have figures and the character just never showed up at all.
Yeah, and I've as kids, you're often wondering about that, but I'm not sure there's reasons behind it. But for most of the ThunderCats line, like most of the characters that were in the Toyland all got featured. As far as I know, nobody that was like, you had the Mad Bubbler, and the Driller, the Berserkers. Even though we were supposed to get Red Eye from the Lunatics, he was going to be made into a toy. Like the prototype was made, but they never made it to toy shelves. But I think for the most part, all the toys did make it. It would have been great had we gotten a season 3, because I'm sure we would have gotten, the new batch of Berserkers like Cannon Blaster, I think. But seeing that the Thunder Cutter itself has got some interesting powers. The 4-day drop. This was something I thought was a really cool scene in itself, and makes for one hell of a setting for a sword fight.
Now, anytime there was like a log going across anywhere, did you kind of pretend that you were in this episode?
Not in this episode, but definitely like, reenacting some sort of sense of movie danger. Because for whatever reason, as a kid, this sequence didn't resonate with me as much as it did as an adult. To me, as a kid, this is the episode that Hachiman shows up in, and that's what I was all about. And watching this as a young adult, like, God, this episode is so damn good. Like, look at this. It's just confronting each other and letting their egos, and I just like how they get called out for it here in just a bit, because they're letting the machismo run their destiny right now.
If a boy gets out of the way for a man, it's like, all right. There's always, maybe not so much with kids these days, but definitely with our parents and with us, there's something just intriguing about cowboys and Indians and samurais and
ninjas and fighting in general. Like, like little girls like instinctively are inclined to want to play mom. Little boys are instinctively want to play war and fight and battle, and that's what made all these action adventure cartoons, especially ThunderCats, so intriguing. Like, pretend like I'm Lion-O with my Sword of Omens and taking on the mutants and teaming up with Panthro and Hachiman. And
I'm gonna say it was always cool though to find that girl that was always like into this and not just into Barbie dolls. And I know what you guys are gonna say, like we're stereotyping this or whatever, but a vast majority of the girls that we grew up with were
into girl stuff. All right,
we're playing with Barbies all the time. So that's just how it was back for us when we were kids.
Yeah, I was friends with one girl because she was the daughter of my mom's childhood best friend, and she was hardcore into G.I. Joe, big time. Like, I didn't know anybody had a G.I. Joe collection like she did. And she loved Batman 1989. She loved Predator. She was cool as hell, and I remember she gave me some G.I. Joes that I never had because she had doubles of them.
You were like, will you marry me?
Oh, and she would have been ideal. But she genuinely liked that. And but yeah, outside of her, I didn't know any girls that liked ThunderCats. Anybody that knew like ThunderCats were all boys, and that's not stereotypical. That's because that's what you knew, and it has nothing to do with sexist or racism or any other bullshit.
Yeah, I it's kind of funny how that works out, because I feel most of that in terms of, well, you gotta be a boy, you gotta be a girl. I feel like that's mostly on the parents in a way. Back then, it's like, no, you gotta watch this and do this, and the kid's just like, okay. But there are the rare exceptions.
Yeah, and I mean, hell, they made She-Ra because they realized some girls, there was a percentage of girls watching He-Man.
Yeah.
and that Tila sold pretty well. So and that makes sense. And something like ThunderCats, where you've got a lot of interesting female characters. They're not the essential lead like Lion-O, but Chitara, Pumira, and the Tree Maidens or Warrior Tree. I can never remember the exact. It's Tree Warriors, Tree Maidens. Hell, forgive me. But I mean, you got Chilla.
I like this shot right here.
Yeah, it definitely has like an anime.
Yeah.
Feel to it, which is the only time you'll hear me say anything positive about anime is anything to do with ThunderCats. Yeah, it's just very, very cool, very stylistic.
And I like here how Thundercat's like, no, this isn't honorable. This isn't right.
Yeah, it makes sense that if the Sword of Omens can act only against evil, why should that be the only sword that has that kind of ability? It doesn't sing and talk like some goofy ass sword would, like in the He-Man Masters of Space.
Oh God, you guys, that got a lot of feedback. It's just like, holy shit, that is really bad. Put it in the new movie. It's coming out in 2021, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the people want to come and laugh at movies now. The days of action are over. We got to make everyone laugh. I'll make sure Orko is like always attached to fart jokes. What's that?
I was just gonna say, Bayformers it up, man.
Yep.
At least we had Bumblebee that ended up being like the best one.
Yeah, and who knows if there'll be another one.
Yeah.
Now, what about the vehicles here, Nathan? We've got to see them a little bit with the mutants vehicles. I really like the Sky Cutter and the Nosediver.
I think what the other interesting part about this universe, and especially He-Man, is you have a very primitive like sword play aspect to it, but then you also have a lot of technology that blends in with it, but it still works.
Yeah. You don't really feel like it's out of place, like some stuff. In my thought, like if you're going to go that way, you need to change the visual look of it to make it look like it's adapted well to this.
Like how Monkian's just like, no, bye,
get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I can't. Sorry, we've been through this enough. I've always liked like treetop houses.
Me too. And this was something I thought was really cool as a kid because I just tree houses to me were always fascinating as a kid, even from like My Little Monster, like that cartoon. Yeah, like the kids hung out in like this tree house that had like a fire pole in it or something.
It also reminds me of us playing Star Wars Battlefront all the time.
Oh yeah, and Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
And I like the sequence here. Like Mom Ra, is not treating Sly as like, well, he got caught, serves him right. Like now their sole purpose is to get Sly back. Like I like that. Like he wants to ensure that the band of mutants that works for him is intact. We got to get him back. Like it's just fun. Like I could see Skeletor, not really launching an attack. That if Triclops and Beastman got captured, it's up to them to get their asses out. But Mom Ra's like, no, we'll get him back. By bringing in the ninja.
I wonder how many kids like repeated this to try to like summon something, and their parents heard and made a big stink about, oh God, they're summoning the devil. Because I mean, these shows did get a little bit of flack for that sort of aspect, right?
He-Man was really the only one that got it for that. Everything else that they were all looked upon as just toy commercials. I can't really recall like too many of the other episodes that really took a lot of backlash for what they thought they were promoting, as opposed to they're just selling toys. Because I've always heard ThunderCats was lumped in that lot along with many others. But yeah, He-Man was really that one. I don't know how long it lasted. Well, hell, I think it lasted into the late 80s, early 90s when I saw that special about them attacking children's programming, and He-Man was part of the cartoons that were being attacked. which just sounded so foolish. Like I mean, not once did my parents ever think that any of these cartoons were
Oh yeah,
promoting devil worship or witchcraft.
yeah.
It was
No.
just they just saw it. I was having fun watching these action adventure cartoons, which I'm very thankful for that because I'm even though I had my issues with my dad, getting bent out of shape over certain movies, cartoons were never an issue. But I'm sure there were some kids out there that may have went through problems where their parents thought, you're gonna be summoning the devil, or something like that. I hope people listening to this didn't have to go through that, but I'm sure maybe they knew somebody who did.
Yeah, my dad was always just like watching, like popping in, watching part of the show with me, and then when we would go out and be walking that toy aisle, he'd be like, oh hey, there's that guy, and I'm like, yeah, can we get him? And he's like, yeah. I'm like,
sure, why not? Pick him up.
Yeah. Hey, you want that too? Yeah.
Pick him up. Like Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. Hey, look, someone else needs a ride. Pick him up.
Yeah. He would look at the back of the card and just be like, huh, they have the entire wave here. You want them all? Yeah.
Pick 'em up. This would have been a cool play set.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tree Maidens Treetop Village, like a one piece, kind of like the Ewok Village, but just more in scale with the ThunderCats. Which I still say is one of the coolest playsets. I wish I had that. I do have it now as the Robin Hood playset, but
yeah.
But boy, that was
because they pretty much just repurposed that, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. They tweaked a few things and made some additions to it for the Robin Hood release, but essentially the entire playset itself was just.
And you use it to display your GI Joes, right?
Yeah, I use it to set up like a kind of a jungle playset, like kind of make a little diorama for the GI Joes. It's a shame too. Like the ninja does not show up again, and I wish we had gotten to see more of him. Even though he's not really name checked, he's just a ninja. But it works too, given the '80s craze of ninjas.
Yeah, and there's always something too about ninjas that you like just have white eyes or like red eyes or whatever.
I mean, I think ninjas, they kind of work in almost anything. Like you put ninjas anywhere. Like in He-Man, you got Ninjor.
Hey, he's coming in the mail today, by the way.
Yeah. So it's the just the whole like martial arts, ninja, samurai, Asian warfare thing, and I feel like they can be added into a lot of mythologies and this stuff. I just feel like this doesn't work. I mean, it worked great in G.I. Joe. It worked great in this. It worked great in He-Man. Bionic 6, you got Bungie.
So that's what it goes back to the point. I really appreciate the creators and writers and talent behind the show throwing in those elements.
Yeah, just it doesn't have to be set. And honestly, we never got to see too many episodes with the the reptilians and the jackal men and the monkeans. Like where you've got armies of these characters of these species that Slythe, Jackalman, and Monkian lead. You see them sporadically in season 1, and you see them in the opening sequence, but that's really about it. They did make a figure of one in the little PVC line. Do you recall the line with like the teeny tiny Thundercat figures that LGN made back in the day?
Dude, I had quite a bit of those, and I even had the mini Cat Slayer.
You never told me that.
Yeah. It's because I don't have it anymore because we sold it in the yard sale. Oh, yeah, because I was looking at it on eBay the other day and I looked at the prices and I was just like, oh my God, why was I so stupid as a kid? Because ThunderCats, I liked it, but compared to G.I. Joe, Turtles, Batman, it definitely was down the ladder. Same thing with He-Man, which is why like I had a lot of secondhand Masters of the Universe figures and sold all of those as well, and I kicked myself all the time because to me, I think what it was in my head, I was like, this is all secondhand stuff. It's not anything that like I bought to the store. Like I didn't have as much of a sentimental attachment to it, so I'm like, oh, it's fine. We can sell it, and oh man, I hate it because I was looking at it the other day and I was like, yeah.
I managed to pick up a few from Alan at the when he set up his stand at the Blacksburg comic book show.
They're cool.
Lino. Yeah, they're very cool looking. They all come with weapons.
Yeah.
And they even came with there was like a display shield where you could like set them in. You had Cat Slayer, of course, and
it was cool for its size and everything. It was a really neat little mini playset.
Yeah, pocket-sized toys, that you could take around with you. You could take those figures with you in your pocket.
God, I wish I still had it. I would display it because that's one of those things that's small enough. I would make space for that.
I mean, I haven't come across them that much, but if I do, yes. I mean, I remember seeing Hachiman as a kid because I think Justin Twine had him, and I think he had Lino, I think too. But I do have Lino, Jackalman, and Mum Ra. But that's a great way of ending as kind of like the Ronin warrior.
Yeah,
very cool.
Which you got a lot in those samurai flicks of like ending it on a shot of them just walking into the sunset sort of thing.
Yeah, they clearly got the. I mean, they definitely probably were fans of Akira Kurosawa and things along those lines, and just keeping it simple. That what made, as we've kind of said before too, like these shows, they didn't treat kids like they were idiots.
Yeah,
they gave you a lot of fun, a lot of bang for your buck. They did a great job of, okay, I'm going to devote my time, my 30 minutes to watch this cartoon because you enjoyed it so much. And, it really is a testament to the quality that they put into it that you can watch these shows now. Like, God, this was a great show. Unlike today where everything looks just cheap and it's just talking chairs and talking pillows.
Because the other thing you got to think about too is cartoons these days aren't meant to do what they did back then. Back then, it was to not only entertain, but to sell toys. These days, they're not really looking to sell toys. They're just trying to keep the kids' attention. And when you're competing with mobile games and other stuff, kids play like Fortnite and Minecraft and shit. So you could throw out console games when you're competing.
Yeah, but that's to me when I think of like product placement based on video games, though, I've never like linked the two as it being I thought of it as being similar to what when you're watching episode ThunderCats and you see Safari Joe showed up. I've got that figure or something like that. It's I just and I never really saw these as commercials, but I get what snobs would consider 80s cartoons as toy commercials, though. But
I mean, because they did have a goal in mind of let's sell some toys, and these days it's not the dynamic is just completely different. Kids' attention spans are way shorter than ours ever were, so it's just a different landscape. That to me, I feel like that's why most animated shows seem like they're lazy. There are a few good ones, decent ones at least, but they're not like action fantasy based. It's kind of it does sway more towards the comedic aspect, which I know you hate, but sometimes it does work in the right context.
Yeah,
I'm already looking at Hachiman figures right now.
I figured you would.
It's kind of funny that most of these are missing the sword, and in my head, I'm just like, well, I guess you could just be like extremely cheap and just because I do have like this sword from the Scorpion Mortal Kombat Funko.
Oh yeah,
could just like slide that in his hand or something, get it cheaper that way.
You could, but to not have the Thunder Cutter though.
Yeah, I know. You don't. Damn it.
How much are they? Because I never knew him to be one of the more expensive ones, though.
I mean, you got him here missing the sword, but it's got the helmet, $20. If you want him like complete, there's one here.
$20. Oh, his sword's not there. Never mind.
Yeah. 52, 40. You're looking about $50.
That's definitely a lot more than I ever figured. Because I got mine pretty cheap.
Of course you did.
Yeah. You are looking. You can get them with nothing, or of course, you're probably like me. If you see them in person, missing everything, you'd buy them without question. But
Yeah.
if you can go online and see other options, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to go toy hunting today, but I got yard work and everything to do too.
Oh hell, what would you hunt for?
I would probably go to Collector's Lair there in Roanoke, see if they got anything new.
Really?
Oh, that's not Justin's shop.
Is that the other one?
Yeah, it's the other one.
Oh, okay.
That we went to.
Oh, I forgot Justin's called the basement.
Yeah, I thought about going in there, but he seems like the kind of douchebag that would constantly be checking prices on classics and being like, "Yeah, that's 120." I'm like, "Fuck you, man." Oh, sorry.
God, he's so bad about that. It really is scary because I went, with you looking up stuff, it just kind of makes me curious to go. And I've looked up Black Star stuff. Some stuff like, all right, look, I get why that would cost quite a bit, but some stuff you're like, man, I just don't know how people arrive at some of the prices that they do. Like, I know people want profit, they want to make money and they want to make the most money that they can, but some stuff, man. I mean, I feel like a broken record, but you just feel like, who the hell do you think you are thinking you're just going to charge $85 for, a Rotaro that has neither one of the rat's eye daggers, missing his tail? Or hey, here's a leg from Lino, $20.
Yeah, I think you're gradually sliding out of frame too. I think.
I think I am.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's definitely shifting quite a bit, but yeah, it's what sucks if you didn't have it as a kid, or if you were dumb and just completely missed out on most of it, like I did with the classics figures. You're kind of fucked in that regard, unless you come across someone that is just selling it to get rid of it. They don't really know what they have, or they're just selling, like the guy at our secret spot where I got quite a few Universal Monster things.
Oh, like, yeah.
He's just selling them at good prices because he just wants to get rid of it and hopes that they go to. But Justin, my arch nemesis, apparently was snooping around there too. So,
well, we'll go put this out here. We'll do it on Fans of Power. If you have or know of anybody that has got He-Man Classics, reasonable priced, Nathan is sincerely, genuinely interested in purchasing certain ones. He's not looking to get all of them.
Yep. Let me know what you got.
Yeah.
And
he's not blowing hot air. He's actually been going through and sending me lists of characters he's either looking at or have bought, and he's been doing it pretty consistently. So he's not just doing it because it's kind of cool at the moment and then just lose interest. No, he's continuously buying more and more. And
yeah, I'm gonna have them all wonderfully displayed here over the next few weeks too.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, you guys listening out there, I guess I could throw out the email beyondretro84@gmail.com. Send an email to that. Let me know what you got. Man, leave a comment down below and just be like, hey, I got some stuff I'm looking to sell. And I'm gonna stress this, and I'll say this on Fans of Power. I'm a reasonable man, but I don't like, if you're gonna do that and then kind of basically hit me with a price that's similar to what I'm seeing on eBay, then I'm probably gonna say no. Just because, sorry guys, I don't want to spend $120 on a Triclops. Like, I'm lucky that I got this one here for 70 some odd dollars, and I hated spending that much on it. It really sucks, and I don't care if they're loose. I would honestly prefer loose because it's just more I got to throw away. Sorry guys. At one point, I was sort of like men on card, but now I'm just like, you gotta let them breathe. You gotta let them breathe. Well, what's the point in having it if it's just gonna sit in the box? If you don't,
not agree more,
and you don't have the wall space or something, especially now, because once you start living with someone, like, yeah, she's been gracious enough to let me display things, but to have shit hanging on, I can't do that as much. Plus, it's cool to play with them
and pose them.
And pose them. and have them sit on the shelf.
Groups of all these guys together. It's fun to see this big like group shot of all these heroes and villains and monsters and humans and stuff like that. It's. I mean, I get to a certain degree why people are all about Mint and Box, but vintage, yes. Current stuff, no.
Yeah. No, because it's mass produced for the most part. It's
aside from classics, which now it's like, yeah, if you don't buy it when it comes out, man, yeah, you pretty much got thumbs up your ass.
Yeah. Kevin Sharp popped in. He said, "I'll see what I have, buddy." Yeah, definitely hit me up. Give me a list of something like stuff you're willing to get rid of, and we'll talk.
How about that? Well, Kevin, I hate that you missed the commentary, but hopefully you'll go back and check out our Thundercutter commentary, which we got to make sure Kevin draws Hachiman at some point too.
And I need to take some of those links from these guys and start putting them in the description below on this channel as well. I do it on Fans of Power because it's, with your commissions and everything. But you guys listen out here that check us out on Beyond Retro and listen to these podcasts. Check out Kevin Sharp's artwork. I'll have the link down below soon enough. He does really good work, and he draws Tyler's face so much. Give him something else to draw. You guys need to hit him up for a commission.
Hey, he's doing another one for me.
Of course. Do you want to spoil it?
Well, it's not me as He-Man. I'll just put it that way.
Well,
it's not me as a good guy either.
Oh, okay. He turned heel, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll go about as well as Stone Cold's heel turn in WrestleMania X7.
It's more fitting, but he's turning in villains. I'll just put it that way.
Right on.
It's a collage of a variety of villains.
Kevin also said that he will go back and check out the rest of the episode. He said it's been a tough deadline this weekend. Just saw you guys.
I know Kevin's got some projects. He's told me in confidence that he's being hammered hard. So
yeah, and the cool thing about Kevin Sharp is his artwork showed up during the NFL draft, which I thought was really neat. And we kind of got that sneak preview a few weeks ago before the draft of like the pencil sketch. So to see that done and completed and on television, that's a cool thing.
It is. So I'm just glad, I want to see more and more recognition for Kevin. God, he deserves it. So
I was showing some of the guys that, because I was like, hey, you guys like football, you guys watch the draft. They're like, yeah. I was like, the comic book thing that they were doing for that. Like, yeah, that was kind of neat. And I was like, you see this one here? Like, yeah, I remember that. It's like, yeah, I know the guy that did that. They're like, really? They're like, how much did he make for that? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll ask him one day.
I'm sure he gets pretty good paydays.
I would hope, but you never know. That's the thing about being an artist. It's tricky.
Well, I mean, I think when you're dealing with something as legit as that was, I wouldn't think it would be, it's just thing it's dealing with people who, you don't know anything about them or whatever they're offering. It's. I imagine for like Kevin, a lot of people, even Axel too, like people like, hey. How much? I'll buy this drawing from you, and then you never hear from him again.
I would. I think it would be a different realm, but Kevin, since you're still there, I think it would be kind of cool if maybe you started popping in at maybe like some sports like card shows. Since you did that, then most of these guys would be like, "Hey, can you draw me as like a baseball player or a football player or a NASCAR driver or whatever?" That might bring in some more.
That would be cool too. I love to see myself as a Miami Heat player. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh God, you didn't hear that, please. I don't want to throw up on this episode either.
Oh, maybe how about Orlando Magic in the 90s? Does that sound better? Getting an alley-oop pass from Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, with little Penny sitting in the stands.
Yeah. And
like
and
little Penny
on fire like NBA Jam.
Yeah, little Penny and like Spike Lee and Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that I like that idea. Putting Jack Nicholson and Spike Lee on the sidelines like that.
Yeah, just because I mean they were always at. Did they still go?
Yeah,
they still go to the games.
Yeah,
I thought Jack Nicholson's was kind of stopping because the Lakers weren't any good.
No, he still goes.
No,
I mean he's been at the even though LeBron's season was terrible, he's been there for those. And Spike Lee when he came to Tech, he's like, first thing he says, "Don't ask me about the Knicks," which I thought was funny. But yeah,
I want to talk about Reggie Miller.
Yeah,
I still love that documentary that ESPN did.
Yeah, I did too. I've watched it many, many times.
And I like the one with Penny and Shaq as well.
Yeah, this Magic Moment. That's a really good one.
Yeah. It used to be on Netflix, like took all those off. I need to, I guess, go on Amazon and maybe buy some of those.
I bought the Reggie. I got like a hard copy of that, and then I bought it off iTunes. Then I bought Magic Moment off iTunes too, because I don't think they released a hard copy of it.
Yeah, I have the Reggie Miller one and the 30 for 30 set. There's also the Bo Jackson one that's in that set too. Yeah. That's actually a really good one. Sports.
There's some good ones. I mean, there's. I mean, I wish they would release more hard copies of it, but I wish they do more basketball ones. Some of them were like, I got the Allen Iverson one, which was, I just didn't find it as. I mean, it's sad about what happened, but I just didn't find it to be as engaging to watch as like the fight between the Pacers and the Knicks, or the rise and fall of the Magic in the '90s. You know, I do need to watch the one about Michael Jordan playing baseball. I never did get around.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
And then, you know, how he ended up saving the Looney Tunes from the Monstars.
Yeah. Which trying to think what they're going to do with LeBron James and Space Jam 2, which.
Yeah, it's do you make a continuation? Like, is this a direct sequel, or is this sort of like a reboot?
It's pretty much a reboot. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if they went the sequel route, and it's like, now the Monstars, they're in trouble and they need the help from the Looney Tunes and LeBron to take on some other force. Why not just keep that going?
I mean, I thought, like, if this was going to be a direct sequel, like, how are you going to, like, the Looney Tunes decide we're not going to go after Michael Jordan. We're going to go after, like, it almost feels like if you have to acknowledge Michael Jordan.
Or you could have Michael Jordan and LeBron team up.
LeBron's having a hard time getting stars to be in this movie. Like asking players, like, you know, if they want to be in the movie.
Well, isn't there a thing now with the league where, like, he can't exactly because of endorsement deals with everyone else? That wasn't so much a factor with the first Space Jam because they didn't really think as much about that stuff legally as they do now. How did we get to this?
I was talking about Kevin Sharp doing NFL because I thought, how the hell did we? But yeah. Huh. Well, Kevin's doing sports, but I think Kevin would do some good wrestling work too because he's done some illustrations on his that he shared too of like he's done Goldberg. I think it looked like really, really good, like a spot on image of Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, you don't really follow wrestling as much, but they've been doing events in Saudi Arabia, which is kind of terrible.
I heard about that they were doing that.
Yeah, they're going. I think this is the third time they're going back, and they make a shitload of money. You want to know what one of the matches is?
Goldberg's involved.
Undertaker versus Goldberg. God. It's going to be.
Who wants to see that?
The Saudi Prince. He also, I think it was either that first show or the second show, requested Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna.
Recently he requested Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah,
he can't be that big of a fan.
Well, I think things are a little. I don't know how much gets to them. I don't know.
Well, does he want it like done like a CGI interpret, like an animated, match or something? That's what I don't think he's gonna get.
I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't lured like Stone Cold or like got CM Punk to come back for that money. Oh, Emily's almost here. I'll have to mute the mic here in a second. Kevin Sharp says, watch Kevin Smith's Clerks cartoon from the early 2000s with Allen Iverson and Patrick Ewing. Do you remember that scene at all?
I don't remember that scene. Of course, when the cartoon came on, it was hard to catch. And what little I did see, I didn't think was as good as I'd hoped. So I didn't get to make it too far into it because ABC kept changing when they were playing it, and then it got canceled so fast. So, no, I didn't see that, bud.
I didn't check out the Clerks cartoon when it was on. I remember seeing it around that time because this was around the time, too, where you let me borrow the tape and getting into his work and everything. I don't know. I just didn't have as much interest in it. I guess not many other people did either.
Well, when you had to take a rated R film and you're going to make it into an animated cartoon for prime time ABC, it's just not that I'm saying you have to have, shit, balls and dick involved in it, but I feel like it kind of limits how those characters are. Like that's just kind of their persona, you know. To have Dante like not screaming over the counter, my girlfriend sucked 37 dicks in a row. Like ABC's not going to do that.
Trying not to suck any more dick on your way out through the parking lot. Hey, get back here!
Get back here! Bunch of savages in this town.
Yep.
That son of a bitch was sleeping. I'm sure he wasn't sleeping. You calling me a liar?
God, pulling onto the street. You're gonna have to find something to kind of talk to yourself about here in a second while I end up.
Well, we're almost done anyways.
Yeah, we're almost done. But I guess give out some recommendations. We already recommended Kevin Sharp's artwork. Give out some.
Absolutely.
Give out art, shows, anything.
Yeah, definitely. I always recommend Kevin because you love He-Man, ThunderCats. If you're gonna ask him to do Batman, I will say this: ask him to do Michael Keaton's Batman, because he wants to do something different. And I hope he doesn't get mad at me for saying that. But I just know he's been asked to do Batman so many times. I just feel like he kind of feels burnt out on it. So, and I still to this day, I still want to see him do a rendition of Billy D. Williams as Two-Face. So that's something I want to get around to doing, like a mock-up poster of maybe even play Robin Williams as the Riddler or something like that too, or something like that. So Kevin, I still have every intention of getting a Michael Keaton Batman commission for you at some point. So definitely check out Kevin Sharp's artwork. Let's see, recommendations. I'd say check out ThunderCats Ho, which features Hachiman in that one, in 2 episodes in that one, which is a 5-part animated film that was released on TV. I think it had a VHS release, I think. But it includes all the major players of ThunderCats, from the Berserkers to Captain Shiner. You've got the Mutants. You've got the new ThunderCats. You've got Groom, Jaga, the Tuskas, Rotaro, Snowman of Hook Mountain. They all show up in this 5-part series, and everybody gets time to shine. Like, no one gets shortchanged in their appearances. Hell, when I saw that for the first time, I thought, God, man, like the only thing left to do is Groon. And sure enough, they put Groon in there too. Like, you could say it as a big toy commercial, but it's a pretty well done story. So that's my recommendation this week for episodes and things like that. Check out ThunderCats Ho.
What does your tank top say?
Sweep the leg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see the rest of that. I just saw the top, and I'm like, all right, well, Street Fighter aesthetic.
Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah, it's the Karate Kid gang done as Street Fighter characters.
You just buy a new tank top every week, don't you?
I do have, I think, 3 that's supposed to be in the mail today because they were on sale. Which you will appreciate these though. One I got was the tape recorder of Faker's chest.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's coming on an aqua blue tank top. I got Overlord from Black Star, just his face on a lime green shirt, just his face looking straight. And then the third one is a film strip, like a piece of film reel with Jack Nicholson's Joker, like with the water on his face, like when it looks like blood, and he's laughing, and it's got ha 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 written in the film reel. It looks so damn good on a purple shirt, on a purple tank. So,
I'm surprised you're gonna wear purple.
Yeah. It's purple, and it's soft material too. Like, this is really soft. So TeePublic has really spoiled me, and they got a sale going on right now, and there's some really stupid as shit He-Man images on there too. God, and the guy who does like the whole fist in the ass Fisto stuff too, I've seen his stuff pop up. I'm like, I wonder if that's the asshole responsible for all this Fisto anal sex stuff, but there are some really cool stuff. I like to see some of Kevin's artwork put on TeePublic or something. Pisses me off. I'm sick
some of
that
Fisto fist in the ass stuff. It's just the way you said it.
It makes me so mad. God. But yes, there's some cool ThunderCats, Silverhawks, Bionic 6, Brave Star, Black Star, Transformers, G.I. Joe. I got a cool Destro, like bust of Destro that I've got too, that on soft material too. Like, everything I get's got to be on soft material. But there's some cool, simple stuff with like no crazy, goofy ass catchphrases and stuff. It's just a simple image, or like the one with Michael Keaton. It's like Keaton since 1989. That's if it has to say something, it's not a joke or anything like that. Got mad skills, Joe, or check out these guns. Welcome to the gun show. Oh man, I'm quoting The Office. Aren't I funny as hell?
It to you. It always goes back to Mad Skills. Why is that? Why is that your main go-to? Was that actually on a shirt? I feel like it wasn't.
Yeah. I think Jordan had a Donatello shirt that said.
I'm gonna look it up right now. It said
I don't know
bow skills.
Mad bow skills, I think.
We'll see. I don't see anything.
Oh, this was like over 10 years ago. So
you're a liar.
No, I've seen it, or just like a He-Man shirt that says sup bro, or come at me bro. Just some of these things like, are you trying to be funny? Just please don't.
Just do this. Get yourself a Token Rezar shirt.
Oh yes, I mean yes. Do an endorsement for Electric Zombie there.
Yeah, Electric Zombie got a sale going on because he's moving right now. Sizes are kind of gone out, but 50% off. You don't have to enter in a code. Just put it in your cart, and it's reflected there. I think this ended up being about $15. Probably, I think it ended up being 20 with the shipping, but I mean, shit, man, still cheaper than going to Hot Topic and buying a shirt.
Oh yeah, and has to deal with all those hipster girls. Like, by the way, our shirts are buy 5 get 1 free if you get a free guitar pick with it too.
Yeah, I will say I do like what Spencer's is doing. They give you I don't have my wallet in here, but they give you a card, and each time you buy a shirt, like they mark it off.
Oh yeah, like that.
And then
Hot Topic used to do that back.
And then after you buy 4, your next shirt is free, and I'm like, well, that's cool. Like if that lasts a while, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But every time they try to shill all that shit to me, I always tell them like I don't buy stuff
enough here
from
to justify. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we have your email? I was like, I don't have one.
Can I have your phone number? I don't have one.
Yeah.
Can I have your address? I'm homeless.
Yeah. I'm nomadic. I just show up and buy shit and go somewhere. I'm a drifter.
I'm like Bruce Banner or on the Incredible Hulk or David Banner because they thought it was gay. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, they changed the Hulk's name from Bruce to David Banner because they thought Bruce sounded too gay.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that just reminds me of the Kevin Smith, John Peters thing. It's like, no, can't do that. Can't do that. Too faggy. Yeah, and hey, that's a direct quote. So
yeah, so don't get any hate mail to Nathan.
Don't get upset about it. That's what Kevin Smith said. John Peters said. So
not enough fags on the street. I take it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I hate that we have to do that, and I don't want to get up here on a soapbox, but guys, come on. It's
grow some balls. You should focus on your kids, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, boyfriend, whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
focus on that.
Don't take one little thing that someone said and have it ruin your month.
Yeah, or devote time to going to social media and starting petitions and all this horse shit. Like, we got to remake Game of Thrones. Like,
oh yeah, dude, that like, you know what? This past week's episode was disappointing.
Yeah,
we'll see how the finale turns out. But to sit here and be like, guys, we got to get together. They have to redo it. You think HBO wants to spend all that money again to go back into production? Because those episodes are not cheap. No, not cheap at all.
I think they've been the most expensive they've ever done.
It's the same thing with like, oh my God, there's a coffee cup. Who gives a fuck? Like, it's a fun little goof. Like, who cares? Oh, this is my Thrones. I can't take it. It doesn't belong. This would not be in the realm. Just people taking shit way too seriously. It's why with the whole Batman casting news, like we said at the beginning of the show, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised that you and I mostly agree on that, and we were just like, oh, horseshit. I think 10 years ago, we would have been like that, but now it's just like there's so much crap, and they've done so much to properties that we enjoy. At this point, I'm almost just desensitized.
Yeah, I mean, like when they announced Ben Affleck, I said, nope. I remember when I ran into the first time after I heard that news. I think it was at Firehouse Pizza, I think. I'm not Firehouse Pizza. Firehouse Subs. And you asked me about that, and I was just livid, angry about that. And, of course, everybody was on the internet. But I just felt like, it's no matter what. I mean, I just given the constant trend of how superhero movies are done today, it's like it's going to be a snowball's chance for it to be a quality bet, regardless of Matt Reeves. Like Warner Brothers could be pushing for a certain dynamic, a certain vibe, tone that would prevent a serious take on Batman that's fun and exciting, gives you goosebumps because they want to be more Marvel friendly, something like that. So
Yep.
I'm indifferent to it. I'll pay attention to it because that's what I do. But I'm not.
For me, my opinion stands. If I see the trailer, I'm like, all right, looks good. I'm in. I'm in. I could, and that's the thing. Trailers are not guarantees either, guys.
No.
Like they're not. You can't look at a trailer and be like, this is going to be great. There's been plenty of times that we've seen trailers for stuff that's like, this looks fantastic. And we go and we sit down, and guess what? It sucked. That's just the way
Give
it
an
is.
example of something you saw the trailer looked really, really good.
Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Yeah.
That trailer showed a lot of promise. And what a miserable experience that was. You see it, and it's sort of like a ding in the armor, and you're like, oh. And then it just, they're ripping you apart. And you're like, oh my God, what did they do? Clash of the Titans remake.
I hated the trailers for that were not good to begin with. Which
I thought
should have been my first sign.
I thought that first trailer was okay. Movie sucked.
That's an understatement.
There's been plenty of others. Tyler, do you have any that come?
Spider-Man 2 and 3, which there still were some fun trailers, but God, I mean, I know Spider-Man 2 is looked upon in such high regard, but me, I hated it. I just, I didn't like Dr. Octopus's portrayal of being sympathetic, and a wide, that's a story for another day. But the Spider-Man 2 trailer is great. The Spider-Man teaser trailer for number 3, I thought was fun because it's not really Venom based. It's just about the twist becoming, him getting the black symbiote costume, which was just cheap black on the costume, lazy ass. But that and because there's been a couple. I was trying to think of something that because I'm looking towards like major disappointment. Expendables 3 trailer. The trailer for that was pretty exciting. God, that movie was terrible.
Well,
just terrible.
Yeah, you got a PG-13 rating. I think hurt that a lot too, but also having terrible actors in it trying to come in as being like your fresh faces. I understood where they were going with it, but they didn't get the right people for the right roles there.
Well, even if they were the right people, like they served no purpose for the movie. It was like you're doing this. It really felt like, and I'm sure they said they're getting older people coming to see this movie, and they're not making as much money. They want more money, so we need to bring in people that younger viewers can identify with. Ronda Rousey and Kellen Lutz from Twilight, and they get in the movie and they don't do anything. They get captured. So what's the purpose of having this young new group? It's like the dynamic of the old guard versus the new guard working together. They don't do that at all.
Wouldn't you instead have the old guard get captured and have the new ones try to focus and get them out and bail them out? That seems to that would be your story trope, right?
Or some of the old guard gets captured with some of the new guard, and now the Remainers have to team up and get past their differences of new ways and the old ways.
Bam, we fixed your Expendables.
Yeah, and not getting to see Wesley Snipes and Jason Statham go at it at some point, or really utilize Wesley Snipes' like place in that film.
Mm-hmm.
God, and then Antonio Banderas like he'd been snorting coke the whole time. He was just running around with his head cut off, like what, and he could have been good in it. It should have been a great movie. Mel Gibson is your villain. How the hell do you screw that up? And they did.
Well, we covered a variety of topics today. Yeah. Holy shit, we were all over the place.
We really could devote. Oh, Prometheus. Now they're talking about setting you up for a massive failure.
Yeah.
God.
Every time I think Prometheus, I think of Red Letter Media's review. Space Come. Why? Yeah, that was. Hey man, you didn't watch Alien Covenant? That thing was a huge piece of shit too.
I'm keeping it that way too. I learned my lesson out of Prometheus, and just nope, you're not getting me. I'm so glad I didn't see The Predator. I know what to look for. Some people they're going to see it anyway. I'm tired of wasting my time with seeing that.
Mine's more of a curiosity, but I don't give it the box office receipts. I wait until Redbox and rent it.
Yeah.
But speaking of box office and theatrical releases, we're gonna go check out John Wick 3 tomorrow. So
yeah.
Look for us to give you our thoughts on that, as well as Batman versus Ninja Turtles next week. Maybe that's kind of what next week's episode can sort of be. We can sort of like split that in half, do a John Wick 3 review and then a review for that, and just sort of.
Yeah, we'll just do like a discussion for John Wick 3 at the beginning, and then
transition. We'll take the weird side road. We'll go the backwoods weird road to get there. We'll probably talk about more Space Jam or
but it's stuff that I think people can all
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, and his diabetes commercials. I'm a diabetic.
Steve Guttenberg.
By the way, Dan Yook quite liked the idea of like promoting Fans of Power with Playgirl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be your cover boy.
Yeah.
I need to get that framed and hung up somewhere.
The one that Joe photoshopped of you?
No.
You got to print that out and frame that and give that to Emily for a Christmas present or something.
Or we could just start printing them out and selling them on a shop, and I can like autograph them or something.
If we make it to PowerCon, that would be something that we could do.
You have to have at the table.
Have at a table, yeah, selling like customized Playgirl issue with Nathan Kennedy on there.
And then you can have 8x10s, and they'd be similar to what's his face and 10 Things I Hate About You, where it's like one of you wearing a white tank top and one of you wearing a black tank top, but you're doing the same pose, and you're just like, which one?
A bullshit price. Black is going to cost you $35 more, but the white, that's the more cheap one. Okay.
Yeah, and every time someone comes up, you're holding them up, and you're like, which one do you prefer?
Yeah. That's Joey Donner. He's a jerk off. Do you mind? Not at all. Movie's great. Best comedy ever made.
Yeah. My balls.
I got a dick on my face, don't I?
Yeah.
Don't touch anything. You might get hepatitis. Should you be drinking that when you don't have a liver? What?
Don't say shit like that in front of him. People can hear you.
Oh man, God, that's another movie that's super quotable.
I can be overwhelmed and I can be underwhelmed. Can you ever just be whelmed?
I think you can in Europe. Idiots. They fit the type of like girls we went to high school with too, where they're just saying that kind of goofy stuff.
Yeah. I'll be a man enough to admit when she's reading that poem that she wrote, like, there's a time or two, depending on how many drinks I've had, that I get a little teary-eyed.
Well, it's a good emotional scene though. There's nothing wrong with that scene. It's a very that's what made 10 Things I Hate About You like almost like the quintessential, aside from The Breakfast Club, probably the best teen movie that's been done since then. Aside from what John Hughes did in the 80s, you can throw in Weird Science, you can throw in 16 Candles and all this, but as in currently, the characters were likable. All the they didn't come off as stereotypes, but you knew those kinds of people in there, from the dorks, the preps, the diva girls, the kind of alternative girls. It just felt like you could really relate to
the cowboys pretending to be cowboys.
Yeah. Which
what's the quote? The closest thing they've ever come to a cow is McDonald's.
Yeah, I think that's the quote. Yeah. Which, we went to school with people who really fancied themselves as Southern cowboys.
Yeah, but all they had was the lifted truck and the skull can in their back pocket.
Carhartt jacket.
Yeah, they'd probably never been on a farm in their life.
Yeah, but they, as much as they would goof off and stuff like that, they carry on like like they were hot shit.
Yeah,
they don't live up to the image that women when they fantasize about. You see cowboys like in ads and stuff like that, and they look like the handsome stranger kind of thing.
Yeah, like the Marlboro Man or like Kenny Chesney or something.
Or like Arnold and the villain, or Don Johnson, Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man.
Yeah.
But no, that's not what you're going to get in your local high school.
No, you're going to get like a chubby dude with like a big, huge beard,
and shit in their teeth because they didn't have terrible oral hygiene.
Yeah.
I did an authentic redneck, man. You got to have shit for teeth,
Dude. There's a lot of people I work with that dip a lot, and it messes with you.
Yeah, it ain't the stereotype when we see it.
Well, man, we're just it's all over the place.
It's an all-you-can-eat buffet of a variety of pop culture things.
Yeah, as Tyler always says, we always make sure to give you a bang for your buck.
Yeah. If you do enjoy listening to us, I mean, I think, well, if you're still listening to this by this point,
you know where it's going.
Yeah.
And if you guys are new to it, we hope you enjoy. And I want to recommend, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified when we go live. For Capes and Commentaries, Beyond Retro Podcast, when I go live for Beyond Retro Arcade. Check out all the links down below. You can download us on Podbean and iTunes. And I want to recommend to those guys, head on over here to YouTube at youtube.com/Beyond Retro Podcast. And give us that subscribe. Check out Fans of Power, the He-Man and the Master Universe podcast, hosted by Tyler Baker, Joe Amato, and myself. Do you guys got the topics ready for this week?
No.
Right on.
Yeah.
This is usually the thing. I always kind of toss it out there early on in the weekend. I'm like, hey, you guys got anything yet? And then
you know what? We probably ought to do a mini comic discussion. That's probably what we really.
So yeah, you want to try to reel me in more this week?
Well, no, we did commentary last week, so we were going to do a character bar for Buzz Off. So maybe we ought to do like a mini comic discussion.
Right on.
Just mixing it up a little bit.
But make sure you guys head on over there, youtube.com/fanspowerpodcast. These guys, Tyler always gets a plethora of guests that pop in every now and again that have contributed in the past and are still contributing now to a wonderful, wonderful property. It's amazing that this fan base has been able to sort of throw it on its back and keep it alive this long, since Mattel and Sony have struggled so much to kind of bring more to the table in terms of media and entertainment.
Competent.
Right. Well, I wasn't going to be as mean about it. I was going to kind of pull a Joe. And speaking of Joe, make sure you hit him up for a t-shirt and hit him up for a custom.
But if you want a custom, you may have to be adamant about it, because if you show interest in one, he's like, "Oh, it's great," and may not ever hear from him again.
I'll just disappear into the dumpster that is Parts Unknown.
Yeah.
Check out Kevin Sharp's artwork. Check out Axel Jimenez's artwork. Karsten.
Yeah,
I'll put all those links down below so you guys can check out their stuff. They do a lot of wonderful drawings.
And they've all dabbled in ThunderCats. Like Carson did a monkey, and just to like show me what his monkey would look like. Looks fantastic. Axel's done ThunderCats for me. Kevin's done ThunderCats for me. You want some kick-ass ThunderCat illustrations, man? Any of those three, I mean, they're the way to go.
And with all of that said, we look forward to seeing you guys next week when we talk about John Wick and Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is the proper title for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because I just see stuff and click on it, and I didn't properly. To me, I'm just like, yeah, Batman Turtles. I don't.
That's why I just assumed just call it Batman Turtles, because they do fight briefly, but that's really about it.
But we look forward to talking about that. And until next time, we will see you in the future to talk about the past. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks. See you later.
Later.